The Military Pensions Board has called for patience from the retirees and pensioners. In a statement, Chairman of the board, Rear Admiral Saburi Lawal, says funds for payment of the 24-month minimum wage pension arrears is included in the board's 2022 budget estimates. The board is assuring all pensioners that payment of the outstanding arrears will commence once it has assessed the funds. They further attributes the shortfall of funds to the consequential adjustments on pensions occasioned by the Minimum Wage Act of 2019.
Right, for more discussions on this, we're joined by Dr. Roy Okhidievbie, the Director of Media Coalition of Concerned Veterans. Thank you so much for joining us. Must start by saying, of course, we do appreciate, all the contributions of veterans like yourself. How would you, were you satisfied with the explanation coming from the chairman of the, the Military Pensions Board, that everything was being done to ensure that funding is released, to clear the 24 months outstanding pensions?
It's difficult to be comfortable with their words, because after a series of meetings, and we have written letters that are not replied, and these letters are acknowledged. We write a reminder, they are not replied, and they are acknowledged. Nobody does any phone call, no access to meet with any of the executives. And these bodies we raised, you used to see where veterans parade on the streets, some fall down, different kinds of things. But we had to form bodies. And we harnessed all veterans' bodies under the CCV, Coalition of Concerned Veterans. So it's easy to speak with them because there was no faith in the Legion anymore. Even the last Minister of Defense had to form a communique where we had 3 days again of retreats to raise the Veterans Federation of Nigeria, because the Legion is not delivering to veterans.
Why is that? Because that's where all veterans are supposed to belong.
It's something that I need Arise to also go into, because we have had meetings. Even the Legion chairman was at the Veterans Federation of Nigeria creation. He was in those retreats, okay? So I'm a secretary to one of the committee. So when we see that the CCV can speak for everybody, so we had to create platforms. We approached the Military Pension Board. We have a good relationship with the Military Pension Board, but we know that their abilities are limited. It's a disbursement arm, and it's an arm that will confirm authentic veterans and disburse your monthly pension to you and any other accruing and this. So we have a good relationship with them. Where we have challenges is when the Office of the Honorable Minister of Defense and issues that comes through his desk, like the department allowance that was ignored. The security department allowance is something that's supposed to pay to you so you don't use your skills against the states. It's something that will entangle you. If you are not even patriotic, once you collect that money, it tells you that you can't use your skills, you can't train bandits, you can't work with terrorists, you can't do anything against the state. And we have a lot of bodies now, groups, lawless groups. So it's so wrong not to encumber military retirees with that payment. And you now paid some catchment of people like 3 years ago, and meanwhile there are backlogs that you didn't even talk to. So I think communication is one reason why you are seeing all of these things. But the painful part is people are dying. Absolutely. They are dying from high blood pressure. They are dying from different kinds of ailments, because the defense health also does not capture elderly ailments. And those that are medically boarded, some soldiers have medical conditions and they were retired. The monies you were paying with them, you now started to slash it again. For one reason or the other, not also explained properly. Yeah. And you just see all of these things happening to veterans.
And in all of this, while in service and after service, you never had got registered with the NHS. I know that a lot of the military formations, they have military hospitals, just like Creek Hospital, for the Fall Reference Hospital in Kaduna and everywhere. Do you have access to some of their facilities as retirees?
Yes. In my time, as we came out, we didn't meet it, yes. But when we started all these pressure groups, that was when it came up. I have a card for defense health. That's what I was trying to explain there.
Yeah.
You know, when you have the card for defense health and you approach an hospital where you were selected to use, you know, by the defense health department. But when you get there, the kind of ailments that you don't need to spend for are not even things that you should be expecting an elderly person to have. You know, you should be looking at maybe high blood pressure, hypertension, arthritis for your joints and all that. Those things are not captured, you know. And even these eye challenges, you know, the hazard of the job. Even my glasses, I was saying it there. You saw it.
We heard you
I have to buy my frame myself. So you can imagine those elderly people that you meet in the hospital, when they start giving them the prescription, they are scared, because when you get to where you pick the drugs, they just give you 1 or 2 and show you where you go and buy the rest. The pension is not even enough for, okay.
Do you get a sense that you're not being appreciated enough, not just by the federal government, but by Nigerians as a whole? And what implications, really? What do you think that means for the young soldier, or even the young man or woman who wants to join the military? Yeah,
that's true. That's true. You know, some of us that travel a lot, you know, we have seen cases where even I was at the airport in Dallas where they missed their flights, and they said veterans should come this way, that they want to be taken care of, because the trauma of missing your flight. They are careful about their trauma. They think about PTDS, you know, post-traumatic. Yes. So, but when we look at our airports, we look at our banks, there's no special treatment for veterans. Nobody says thank you for your service. I just said it. I say if I get into an airport and I just see a banner dropping down and says veterans, thank you for your service. Just one banner in that whole big airport. We just finished an airport in Anambra State. There's no banner saying veterans, thank you for your service. Now, if you look at the effects on a lot of people, you know, I just noticed that patriotism has died in this country. You know, one thing that the press is also trying to bring back is patriotism, you know. So if people cannot say thank you for your service, it's because the government has not also shown commensurate responsibilities towards the people as a whole, as a community. If our father is taking care of all the children, we love ourselves, you know. So people are skeptical about the military because the military is being used to hold the people down, not to burn down the country. So when you get out of the military, you are back in the civilian space and you are susceptible to kidnaps. You have had so many retirees that are kidnapped from their homes, you know, so you are susceptible to all kinds of oppressions and the life you live. So patriotism is down, then commensurate respect for veterans are down. Then who wants to join a military where you need to come out and begin to think of how to take care of yourself?
What a shame. What a shame.
Truly.
This is not how to treat veterans.
No. And that's why I started by saying we do appreciate all you do to protect us.
But I know some Nigerians out there do appreciate the great jobs you've done for the country, and we just hope the authorities would settle your entitlements. 2 years without, you know, pension, and some of them can't really, you know, be engaged in any work again. Thank you very much, Roy Damien Okhidievbie, for coming on News 9.